Alrighty, what's going on, everyone? Here, let's see. I'll wait for everyone to come in the room here, and then we'll start answering questions, and we'll get down to it. Very, very exciting. We just launched well, didn't launch. We just announced that we are doing our Kickstarter. Give a little bit of White Dragon update. So I want to hop in here and answer some questions. We are a week away from the launch of Beatdown's Kickstarter, and just working on that video, getting ready to upload it, which is pretty cool. Very, very cool. And then White Dragon's looking good, so I'll field some White Dragon questions. Get down to it, see what you guys want. But what's really cool is I'm streaming from my office right now, which is great. I have the screen a little far from me, so it's kind of hard to see. So I'm going to look at you guys on my phone. Remember, if you have any questions, be sure and super chat, and I will definitely answer those questions. Let me see real quick here. Trying to get this to open here so I can see. What we're doing here. But hey everyone, how's it going there? How you guys doing? We got Fiction Rumble, Blue Sharky. What's up, Bryce? Watt Life, Omar, Autobot, Al, Max, Dylan. What's going on, everyone? Ivan, Dylan. What's going on, guys? I'm just gonna pull up this so I can read your questions here. Sorry. I wonder why it won't open. Is it because I wonder if you can't open it on here? I wonder if that's strange. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to try to just read what's going on there, though. But yeah, we're getting closer and closer to White Dragon. Very, very excited about that. What is in the background? This is just my office. You can see a little storyboard there, which is pretty cool. But we are launching the Kickstarter in a week, which is awesome. Kevin says he's getting the Green Ranger helmet printed. Oh, that's so cool. I love seeing that. Oh, yes, it's looking really great. Hey, what's up, Joseph, Nathan? How you guys all doing? Yeah, we got a lot of really cool stuff coming up, guys. Just want to hop on there and answer any questions. I love talking with you guys. Hopping on there. It's been a while, but now that Beatdown is, the Kickstarter's coming back, we're going to be posting regular updates coming on here all the time. Very, very exciting to get that going. So I think it'll be very, very cool. But we've been working on the beatdowns a lot. We've really done a lot of storyboards. Hey, what's up, Max? We got a whole bunch of storyboards that we worked on them, developing the outfits for Batman and Shredder, for Black Panther. We got a lot of really cool stuff, so it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So I'm definitely very, very excited for everything. Like I said, if you guys have any questions, be sure and super chat, and I will get those answered for you. But we're just excited to get back to Beatdown. White Dragon is done. It looks fantastic. Everyone that's seen it, we've had a lot of the cast over. Jenna and Tammy, they loved it. And right now we're just out to the different distributors to find out what the better deal is. I really want it to be in theaters, and so does Jason. That's the goal. That's what Jason wanted. It's us to go in the theaters, which is very, very exciting. So instead, will we be using AI in our beatdowns? No, we will not be using AI in our beatdowns. No. But yes, Deadpool and Wolverine vs. Scorpion Sub-Zero. That one is on there, and that a stretch goal for that, an upgrade to that is going to be X-Men vs. Mortal Kombat, which would be really, really cool. I'm happy you guys are doing Super Happy Down. Us too, Max. Us too. We're really, really very, very excited to be heading back to it. I think it'll be really, really great. It's really cool. They say you can't go home again, but we're going home again, and we're going to do these beatdowns. We've already been storyboarding them, laying them out. The way that the Kickstarter will work is basically we have a goal. When we hit that goal, we unlock that beatdown. Then there'll be a few stretch goals for that beatdown. And then the next big goal is we unlock the next beatdown. So, and I've been teasing them online. I haven't confirmed anything. Well, I've confirmed a few things, I think. I think some of you guys know that Batman 92 versus Shredder 90 is for sure happening. Yes, they will have alternate endings if we hit those stretch goals. That's very, very important, is they hit those stretch goals. So it's going to be a giant project, but it's very cool, and they'll be on YouTube. We'll be on our YouTube channel, which is a little easier than using our going through distribution for White Dragon, because White Dragon is, boy, distribution in the film industry. I can't tell you how complicated that is. I really had no idea the complicated mess that is distribution, especially right now in the industry. I mean, you know that like this month, October, was like the worst month for like movie theaters in the last 35 years. And it's all really, really crazy. You know, it's really, really difficult. You know, everything that's appearing on Netflix is down, and Netflix doesn't pay anything for their content. They originally, you know, were trying to absorb as much content. Now they have too much content. Anything right now, any movie that appears on Netflix, you know, pretty much got nothing for it, and then you lose foreign sales, which is not good. So there's a lot of it's very difficult. It's very difficult. And if you go to Netflix, you don't get to go theatrical. And I went theatrical because that's what Jason wanted, and that will allow for all the fans to come together and see it. You know, kind of like a nice moment, a synergy among the fans, so they can watch the film and be excited about it and have fun. You know, that's what I want. Someone says the film industry is not a straight arrow path. I agree. It is not. Hey, Michael Griffin says Hit Girl versus Art the Clown. Well, that's kind of a fun one. I've never been asked that one before, and a lot of times I always point out that whenever we have like a new one, I always have to be like, I've never heard that one before. That's a pretty good one, you know. But I think Hit Girl would win that one. I think Hit Girl would win. Let me see real quick here. Oh, well, that's so cool. I'm glad that you enjoyed City of Scars, and that kind of like we appreciate it, all the kind words you had to say, and then we end up talking about you. That's really cool. But yeah, the film industry is really, really difficult, and it's very tough. Because everything changes. It's like, you know, you can have something scheduled, like we had distribution and stuff lined up 2 years ago, and oh man, the industry changes so quickly. I mean, the industry changes in like a month or two. So for it to change into 2 years is dramatic. So things shifted quite a bit. So things are just a little different now. But we're gonna make sure it's out there. We're gonna get in theaters. We're gonna do the whole thing. We're gonna get it there because we have to. You know, we have to get it there. Hey, Aneurysm Fun. Okay, Aneurysm Fun. I have a question for you, and I'm glad you're in the room. Very, very glad you're in. And also, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. You sent me a really long, wonderful, moving email that I want to read as a video. Can I read that email publicly? It was very touching. Maybe it's very, very touching. So I wanted to ask if I could read that and make a video of it, because it's like the whole reason why we do what we do. I think it's incredibly beautiful, the words that you said there. Also, hey, can't wait to see White Dragon, Predator vs. Rambo. I mean, you'd have to go, I want to say Predator, but you'd have to go Rambo, because Predator's never beat anyone. So, I mean, he can't even beat like some little girl in the most recent Predator movie. So, of course, Rambo would win. But, you know, hey, what's up, Ellie? How are you doing? Jelly Bean, what's going on? And then, oh, thank you for asking how my grandma's doing. She's doing well. She's doing well. Her having to have some housework done right now, but she's doing well though. What happened to the Justice League Avengers animated one? So what happened with that one, which that was, gosh, forever ago, it was like 7 years ago now. The original, the animation house artist that we hired to do that, he injured himself. He hurt himself. He hurt his back really bad. He really did early designs on it, and we kind of got a little bit of it started, but he hurt himself, and then we couldn't finish it. And then he got better, but then we weren't there in a place to do that, and neither was he. So it just kind of fell by the wayside. But that's what happened, and it won't be revisited. It's been that's one of the very few projects of ours that has been permanently shelved. I can't think of actually too many projects that have been permanently shelved. We try to get all of them done. We've completed over 50 projects, or more actually. I think we have 50 projects that have reached 1 million views online, but we always make sure to finish what we start. So very few projects have not, but that's one of them. I love your work and we'll continue to support you. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. That's so kind of you. What can you tell us about the fight scenes in White Dragon? Did Jason do his own stunts? So he did most of them, not all of them. All actors have stunt doubles that come in and do different things. It's just like, because a lot of times, Jason would help behind the scees a lot, and he'd want to oversee. And sometimes when you're in the suit, it's very difficult to do that. Having worn the suit myself, it's so crazy difficult to fight and direct. I mean, that's a big reason why Ben Affleck didn't do his Batman movie, because it was just really too hard. But it was Jason. Every move that all the characters do has Jason totally embedded in it. He watched the fight scenes like a hawk and made sure that they were exactly the way that he wanted. And he had such a vast experience. And then the guys that we use, the stunt guys that we use, Tim and Ryan, are also really prolific stunt guys and able to do a lot of really amazing stuff. And then I have extensive fight background in creating fight scenes and stuff, so I knew how to translate them well. So we had a really, really good fight scene, not to mention our two fight coordinators, Alvin Scene and Alfred Scene, we've worked with many, many times on all our projects, and they have a really good understanding of Jason and fight scenes in movies, and then also Power Rangers. So, the fight scenes are really, really good. I think you're going to really, really like them. And yes, Jason was an incredible martial artist, the real deal. A lot of actors act like they're the real deal, and they're not the way that Jason is in terms of having cage fought. That was like a big deal. Aneurysm fun. Let me get back to your super chat here. It says absolutely you can read it in a video, no problem at all. Thank you for asking. Thank you for the email. And guys, when I tell you it's emotional, it is. I'm gonna read it with my dad. We'll do a video of it, and we'll probably do it in our new podcast space, where I'll go hop on there and just make a video just for that one thing. It's just really, really nice, really special. I'll probably make maybe a story out of it, or not a story, a YouTube short. That's probably what I'll do. Let's see real quick here. Why are we launching the Beatdown Kickstarter now? Well, like I said, we have wrapped complete production on White Dragon, and it's out of our hands. It's in the hands of our distribution agent, and they're now trying to find the best path forward that is able to pretty much check all the boxes, which we just overlook and see what's best and what honors Jason and his family and our investor, and then what's best for the movie. So but otherwise we're just kind of waiting like you guys. So we thought, well, you guys are, we go to conventions and we hear from the fans, and everyone's like, when's Beatdown coming back? When's Beatdown coming back? So we're like, well, we just might as well get started on that. And then, the Beatdowns and White Dragon will probably drop around the same time. But we like to work and keep going. So I'm sure. Oh, let me ask. Sorry, I missed the super chat here. Thank you so much, Aneurysm Fun, for your super chats. All right, we have Jen and Laurel. It says, I'm sure it's been asked before, but Deadpool versus Arthur Clown if they don't become besties. That would be funny. Like, I could see how that working where like maybe um, Deadpool's watching Art the Clown, and then Art the Clown like steps out of the movie or something like that, and then you think it's going to be like this really violent, brutal scene, or maybe it does become violent and brutal, but then it's like they're both really enjoying it. That's a fun one. I've never been asked that one either. So that would be very fun. Josh says Battinson is my favorite channel. Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Um, so thank you for that super chat, Jen and Laurel. Ghostface comes in and says, "I'd pay so much to see John Wick's versus Beatrix Kiddo. By the way, I hope you're having a good day and are in good health. Lastly, God bless in the work you do." Well, I appreciate that, Ghostface. Thank you very, very much. We just did a video with Ghostface. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed it. Um, you know, I'm not super familiar with all the abilities or skills of Beatrix Kiddo. I would have to say John Wick, just because he seems unkillable in those movies. They've kind of really elevated his power levels, his ability, which is kind of like I liked him when he was human. Now he's not so much anymore. Thank you for that super chat, Ghostface. Someone says skimming through the comments. Yeah, it's hard to get to all of them. There's so many. I can't answer all of them. If people super chat, I always make sure to get to those. But it's hard to get. It's hard to get back to it. Someone says Death Battle did that one. Oh, did Death Battle do John Wick versus Beatrix Kiddo? Chandler Jackson says, "What happened to Tatiana?" Tatiana's doing good, I assume. She's busy working on a few other projects. You can follow her on her social medias. I hope she's doing well. We don't talk too much, but that's kind of normal though. For that sort of situation. I don't know how much you guys really even know about her and I. I don't even know if that's even. I mean, it's all when people are together and then they go their separate ways. It's just kind of what it is. But I wish nothing but the best for her. She's incredibly talented. I was just putting this little montage together, Beatdown, and she's in it. She's fantastic. She does such a good job. She would always give 110% and crushed it. Her as Wonder Woman and her as Domino are some of my favorite fights. But that's she did a Western movie with her boyfriend, which looked really cool. I saw the trailer for it a while back, and that looked really cool. So I'm sure if you want to go follow her, you can definitely hop on the socials and seek her out and see how she's doing. Someone says, someone did. Yeah, it says Death Battle did the John Wick Beatrix Kiddo one. Oh, well, there you go. Ghostface question: what beatdown do you really wish to do but can't due to cost? Oh gosh. Spider-Man was tough when we did Spider-Man. He was really hard. I'd love to do Superman Goku. Love to do Superman Goku. That'd be a lot of fun. Or like Superman Homelander or something like that. But those ones are really, really expensive. Hundreds of thousands of dollars. So much money. I mean, when you watched like on Arrow, Infinite Crisis, Legends of Tomorrow, when they had the two Superman fight, those graphics were okay. They weren't like movie qualities. Not that ours are Marvel movie quality either, but like that episode was like I think about 6 million, 7 million, and even then the fight wasn't very long and it wasn't really spectacular. So for us, it probably cost 300,000 or 400,000 just because of the sets that have to be built that you'd have to set up to be able to be broken and destroyed during that sort of stuff. The costumes, the costumes need to get wrecked. You need to make multiple versions of the outfits. You have wire work. You have extensive digital builds. I think that one would be a lot of fun to do, but it would be really, really, really hard. Be really, really crazy. You are literally the best Joker. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Those are, I mean, even being considered among the greats is a huge compliment. Someone mentions Paul Sims. Did you ever pay Paul Molnar for his Joker performance? Did I ever pay Paul? It's a good question. I worked with Paul on like we did Patient J. I was how old was I during the Patient J? I was 19. I was working at Starbucks. And in those days, no one got paid. Everyone got paid basically just, you show up on set and you get like a sandwich and stuff like that. I paid for the whole production on my Starbucks salary, which was hard. But those are the early days. You're young and everyone's just coming together to make something really, really cool. Those were like all the early days of Bat in the Sun. Eventually, when we came like leveled up and we started doing Beatdown. That was like a next level where things kind of just like whoa, really took off and was really cool. Then and that's when Machinima came on and was putting in money. And then at that time I was working actually at Apple full time, so I was getting paid a little more money than I was at Starbucks. And we kind of matched Machinima on what they put in, and then a lot of people started getting paid then. Some people got paid before, but that's once again, it's just those are like the early days, so it's a little different. And then Paul never worked with us once that because we started Beatdown I think in 2012, I think it was, and then that was like we leveled up, and from that point on, everyone got paid because there was money there provided by Machinima or Loot Crate. But before then, it was definitely not as much. I don't know if that answers your question, but that's pretty normal though. I mean, I still do projects and work for people for free and stuff because you want to help or you want you want to get experience and connections and stuff like that. So it just depends. But on projects, well, union projects, everyone gets paid. They have to. It's you get in a lot of trouble if you don't. So, but I'd love to work with Paul again. I honestly like his Joker better than mine. I always say that Paul's my favorite Joker because he's just really good. Every time I watch him, I'm just like, I wish I was as good as Paul. He's really good. And what's funny is with Paul, Loot Crate, they came to us really like out of the blue, and they're like, "Hey, can you do this video with like?" They wanted these characters. They wanted like it was the Joker. I was Joker, and it was like a dance off with the Guardians. It's kind of a weird concept, but they were like, "Hey, can you shoot next week?" And I was like, "Oh man!" And then I reached out to Paul, and I think he was busy because he does a lot of really cool makeup. He works on like a lot of makeup shows, like I think like CSI and different stuff like that. And he couldn't get out of work. He was always more than obliged to fly back and come back. I was like, "Hey man, like we're shooting in a week. I don't know if you can come back for this." And he was busy, and I was like, "Ugh." And I was like, "But in our early work, like some before Paul even entered the scene, I portrayed Joker, and I was like, well, I could probably do it again." Plus, I have a little background in amateur dancing, so I was like, all right, I can do this. So I did it, and the fans loved it. You guys loved it, which was so wonderful and encouraging. So I was like, all right, well, I guess we did it again, and it required a little more fighting, and I have a good background in that. Plus, it was fun to be Joker. I had fun doing it, so I wanted to do it. But yeah, that's kind of how that all kind of started. But Paul's great though. He's a fantastic Joker. He would, be great in the DCU. James Gunn would be great to use. So, sorry, I just like talking about Paul. He's just really, he's a great Joker. Hi, Aaron. I hope life is treating you well. It's treating me great. It's fantastic. Life is really so beautiful, and it's just been really a lot of great opportunities and projects and different things that got married. So it's really cool. Aaron, do you follow any AI fandom pages on YouTube? Yeah, there's some really interesting ones on there. I'll watch them and I'll be like, it's interesting because you kind of want to keep like a little bit of an eye on it. Some of them are really impressive, and some of them are a little like, oh man, we might be in trouble. So Chandler Jackson, for X-Men vs. Mortal Kombat, will you use the original crew from Mortal Kombat or the new ones from the 2023 game? Are you talking about the characters or the actors? Because it's mixed. I mean, obviously the first section is going to be Wolverine and Deadpool versus Scorpion and Sub-Zero. But then if we do stretch goals, it unlocks different characters. So that'll be that would be the characters that we would use. But I'm sure you guys have seen some of the announcements. We're gonna play Scorpion, which is gonna be pretty cool. Have you guys seen that announcement? Thank you, Chandler Jackson, for that super chat. Much appreciated. Let's do it quicker. Kevin Corvell says, just to confirm, beatdown so far, X-Men vs. Mortal Kombat. That's the stretch goal of that one. And also, all these are stretch goals. The main one is Batman 92 versus Shredder 90, and that is correct. And then also we have Predator vs. Mandalorian. Yes, I have confirmed all of these, and those ones are all on there. But they're at different tiers, though. They're at different tiers, so. I love your stuff. Thank you so much. Does it bother you that Death Battle made Blade vs. Buffy in live action before you did? No, I'm actually kind of glad they did, because that one was always like, we were so on the fence about doing that, because we wanted to do it, and it's so hard to, because Sarah Michelle Gellar is so iconically Buffy, and Wesley Snipes is so iconically Blade, and I was like, man, it's just so hard to cast anyone. Like when you cast characters that wear like masks or helmets, it's a lot easier to do those characters, but with them it was really tough, and I was like, fans want it, but it's hard, and you're gonna get fans even if the actors do a great job, and I'm sure the actors in that did a really good job. But I saw some of you guys popping on my page saying you didn't like it, you didn't like the casting, you thought you said someone's their voice was off or something, and I'm just like, it's just so tough to compare, it's really hard. So I was always kind of on the fence. I wanted to do it. I was like, if there's a way to do it, that'd be really cool. But I couldn't feel where it is. So the fact that they did is actually kind of nice. It's kind of maybe it's done. Unless you guys still want us to do it. So many beatdowns to look forward to. Yes, we're gonna need your guys' help though. We already put so much money into building these beatdowns out with the costumes and everything like that. Committing to the storyboards and a lot of stuff that we just try to keep things going. And costumes are honestly so expensive. Like, oh my gosh, the amount that we spend on costumes is really expensive for an indie project. Obviously, on the movies, they're so expensive. I know, like when they announced like one of Wolverine's costumes in Wolverine vs. Deadpool was like over $100,000. I know, like fans were like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe it's expensive," and I was like, "I can't believe it's that inexpensive," just because of the complexity. Our White Dragon outfit, was over 30. Same thing with Dragon Prime. And then a lot of our outfits, can range. I mean, you try to, it depends. You really try to come in at a certain price. Like, I think right now we're trying to get the Black Panther outfit. I mean, it's thousands and thousands of dollars. It's just crazy how much this stuff, it's so crazy. Who does your concept design, the drawings? So I will draw them out like really kind of shitty and like not like the greatest. And then I have a really good storyboard artist who actually, then I'll send it to him, and then he'll actually draw them out, and he's great. And so he'll like kind of spec it out, and then I'll take it to someone else, and then they'll like build it in 3D, and then we'll take it to a costume designer or whatever, and then we kind of build it that way. Do you still have the White Dragon figure? Oh yeah, they're right over here. You just can't see them, but maybe you can. You can see the White Dragon one. You can't see me. I'm off screen over there, but I'm on screen here, so that's right. Oh yeah, cosplay costumes are so expensive. Like all the people that go to conventions and cosplay, yeah, they're like super very expensive and really well made, and they don't even have to be made to be durable. See, that's the thing, is that like we have to just make them really durable, because they have to fight, Some Grim Angel says, why is 90% of Beatdown family gone? I don't know what that means. What does that mean? Where did they go? I don't know. Aneurysm Fun, what's up, man? Your email really was very touching. Thank you so much. It says, have you or will you be seeing Predator Badlands? Oh yeah, been texting the group, been texting the Bits fam to head over there and watch it. So we're gonna be watching all of it. Looks good. I hope the Predator wins. He never wins. All right, Ghostface back on the super chat. Thank you so much. Darth Vader versus Lord Voldemort would be a great beatdown. Also, it would be too expensive. It would be expensive, but it wouldn't probably be all that not that much different than when we did Gandalf versus Vader. It would be more expensive for sure because that was in the early days where we were still kind of roughing it, and our first couple beatdowns were not the greatest. We were still trying to make our way. Um, yeah, I mean, a Vader suit. I know people that own it and make it, so you could you could rent it. It's always dangerous renting outfits because we destroy them. So sometimes I just like you just buy it, which is not cheap at all. Those outfits can, like movie quality ones, 10, 20 grand. Let me see here. Let me see. Goju versus Deadpool. Which one? Who's Goju? I don't know that one. All right, Chandler, have a good night. Where do you get your outfits from? Well, we have a couple different costume makers. I'll design them, and then we have usually 3 or 4 different costume makers, and they do all a fantastic job. Aaron, where did you get that Batman animated series? Which one? This one? The bust, or which one are you talking about? Remember, sorry guys, I'm not able to answer all your questions when you super chat. I will always get to like Ghostface did. I'll always make sure to prioritize that, and I will take care of it. Someone says I love the early beatdowns. Nightwing vs. Kim was one of my favorites. That one was fun. Grim Angel, I already answered that question. Like I said, White Dragon is in the hands of our distribution agent, and we're just kind of here. So we might as well get back to work. Aaron, are you selling Dragon Prime helmets? We will bring those back. I know a lot of people have been really chomping at the bit for them. They are not cheap, and we pretty much sell them for wholesale. Because like when Hasbro makes their replica helmets, they're not quite like the real ones. The helmets that we sell are literally like carbon copies of the ones that are in the movie. So we just that's pretty much how much they cost, and they're really complicated designs. Why the suits are destroyed? Because when you go through beatdown, we just beat the hell out of them. You just beat the hell out of them. We go so hard on them. Flashpoint Batman vs. Killmonger is my favorite beatdown. Really, that's a great one. Kevin and Marquette crush it in that one. They do such a good job. Honestly, I would love to see more beatdowns. Those 2 characters again. Okay. What if no distributors pick up the film? Oh no, we've already been in talks with people that are really interested in it. We just got to figure out which is the best way. Because you'll have some people come forward and they'll say, we want to just put it on streaming, but no theatrical. And they're like, well, we'll give you theatrical, but we want to hold back. And then we've had some people be like, we want on streaming, but we can't put out any other media. And we're like, no, we can't have that. So it's like navigating these waters. We have options in front of us. We have to just make sure that like I said, guys, there's a lot to take into account. We have to take you guys, the backers, into account. That's very important. But at the same time, that can't compromise the actual distribution in Jason's dreams, or eventually trying to make a profit and help Jason's family. And of course, we want to get a return, or just break even with our investor and our executive producer, who is really just a godsend on this whole project. He came in and made sure the project was able to be everything Jason wanted to be. So there's a lot of things at play here, and it's difficult to navigate the waters to make everyone happy, or make everyone as happy as possible, while still like trying to get it out there. So it's not easy. I wouldn't recommend being in the position that I'm in. It's like trying to like oversee it. But while it's going on over here, we listen to all these different things, and Bat in the Sun and our executive producer Chris, and then of course the Frankenstein, we'll have to agree on what we think is best, and then we will move forward with that plan. And as soon as we have information, we'll let you know. I know that you guys are just been waiting forever. So I feel for you. I'm waiting forever too. There is no person more emotionally frustrated on the project than me and my dad. That's not to say something that that's up with the project and trying to get it, all the obstacles we've had to overcome. That's not to say that we at all have incurred more emotional frustration compared to, like, obviously Jenna and Tammy. That they lost their, their husband and father and best friend, so that's a whole other thing. And they're incredibly strong, very strong, resilient people. I have so much admiration and for them, and talk with Jenna all the time, and she's doing great. She just impresses me. Jason would be so proud of her. But it's we're on the film and seeing Jason, who's one of my dear friends. It's definitely like emotional, like a lot, and it builds up, and it's a lot. It's a lot crazier than a lot heavier than you would think. But we're working to get it out there. But me and my dad are excited. It looks great. We've watched it so many times. Um, I would love to invite you all over, and we could just have a screening of the movie and show it to you and talk about it. And I'd love to talk with you all about it. So it's coming. I promise you, it's coming. You just got to take some time. Is there a beatdown you absolutely want to do and see that hasn't happened on Kickstarter? Ooh, there are a few. And if we hit our top goal, you guys will get a vote for what beatdown you want the most. All right, we got another super chat here from a la carte Morningstar. What's going on? Would you ever do a top 2 Jedi versus Sith and super beatdown? Ooh. Well, we usually, or we always do, different universe battles. A beatdown that we proposed a while back that we really wanted to do was we wanted to do the Flash, Speed Force, versus Luke Skywalker, the Force, and seeing, I thought that would be a really cool battle. I think just the Flash versus any sort of. Would you rather see the Flash versus a Sith or the Flash versus a Jedi? Because I think that's super cool. I think that would be really, really great. So thanks, Reekin. Yeah, it's definitely coming. There's a lot of really wonderful fans that are really supportive and really kind, and I wish you all were local, because I would just rent a theater and just take like 20, 30 of you guys, and we could just watch it. You could all sign NDAs, so it's like we can't really talk about it. But I'd love to just sit down in a theater just for hours and just talk with you guys about it. That would be like a lot of fun for me, because I hear what your thoughts are. See. Mainly, I'd like to just see how the film moves you emotionally, because that's Jason still living on, and that's like something really beautiful. I have a poster of Jason right there from the movie, and I'll just look at it, and it'll just be kind of emotional, because I just wish he was here. Oh, let me go back up here. Larry Quartowitz. Hey, Aaron, love your work. Were you ever a fan of the Trauma films? I love to see Toxie and a Beatdown. I don't know those movies. I'm sorry, Larry. I wish I did. You paid for a super chat, and I can't answer that question. I wish I did. So Price says, bring your dad. He's in the room. I can go get him. He's actually working on the Kickstarter video right now. Do you guys want me to bring my dad in here? I can go grab him real quick here. Is that what you want? Hey, Grim Angel says he wants to bring my dad in too. You guys want to bring him in? Yes, the dad. Okay, let me go get him. Let me see here quicker. Where's my phone? Oh, it's right here. Okay, hold on 1 second. I'll be right back, guys. Lucky, come on, I missed super chat. Let me get that one real quicker, and then I'll go get him. Prince Leo. Oh, you're right. Thank you. Daredevil versus Snake Eyes. That one's a great one. Sightless versus voiceless. Someone's mentioned this one before, and I don't know the answer to this one, because I think that's a really good one. It's one I don't really have. Some of them I have like an obvious answer to, like this one, but I don't know. Let me go get my dad. Hold on, he's just gonna sit right off camera. Hold on 1 second, guys. Hold on 1 second. Hey, Dad. You wanna come in here? There. Some of the fans are asking about you. So, okay, bring that stool over there. Okay. All right, he's coming. He's coming. Make sure to have your questions and super chats ready. Regan says, if I make you a mod, minions are done. I don't even really know what a mod is, but I appreciate you looking out though. Thank you so much. Eric says Sean is a great musician. He is. A lot of people don't know this, that my dad is actually he's a brilliant composer, and he's a concert level pianist. He's so good. He's just he has 1,000 songs memorized. He used to play in all the big venues in LA. He's really, 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 really just a great. He understands music theory so well. I'll sit there and be like, what is happening with the Beatles, or what is happening with John Williams? Or he breaks all this stuff down. It's really fascinating. Aaron, will you give Batman Wide Eyes in live action? If we do Batman again after Batman Shredder, yes, my plan is to do that, which would be really, really cool. Hey, what's up, Lewis? Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I nailed your last name. Okay, good, because I tried. It's tough. Someone said instead of fan voting, what do you think about characters could technically win like Death Battle? So here's the thing: I think that it's characters change all the time. Like if you look at Wonder Woman, when we did Wonder Woman, her powers change all the time, and I think it's kind of a little, I don't want to say arrogant of me, but to choose who is Wonder Woman to you because she's been around for 60 years. So I kind of let you guys know the characters. Obviously, you guys do, and you know them. Because here's the thing: is you go. Any character has done extreme things that are maybe too OP. Like Wolverine never used to be as powerful as he is, but he is now though. So you can make an argument why Wolverine could defeat everyone in the whole world. You can make an argument why Batman could defeat everyone in the whole world. And really they're fictional characters. So a lot of these facts, while they do obviously come into a placement, like we would never do Jubilee versus the Hulk, but you take two characters that are pretty darn close. They're pretty darn close. And there is really, it could go either way. And so we let the fans vote. Because at the end of the day, they're fictional characters. Their characters switch and, grow. And you'll see I was watching X-Men the Animated Series, right? And it's episode 3 or episode 4 where Sabretooth is taken in. And he's in the medical thing. And then he grabs Jubilee and fights Jubilee, and then Wolverine shows up to protect Jubilee, and then Sabretooth just whacks Wolverine where Rogue watches on, and Rogue should have totally done something, but she didn't, and I'm well, then why didn't she do anything? She could have. And that's what I'm saying, the powers. Hey, here he is.
Let's see here. Am I in the? I think I'm a little too tall here.
I can tilt up a little bit here.
Maybe tilt up a bit. Hey, everybody.
There we go.
How's it going? So where are we? What are you talking about?
We've just been bouncing around about different things and talking about the different beatdowns. What beatdown?
The return of the beatdown?
Return of beatdown. There's a few beatdowns that I haven't
pretty excited. Are the fans excited? You guys excited about the return of beatdown?
Prime One Collector says, hi, Dad. Dylan says,
Prime.
hi, Sean. Nathan says, hi. Aneurysm Fun, who I read that email to you.
Oh, that was a great email. Yeah.
We're going to read that on a separate video. But he says, hey, Sean. E-Man says, hey there. So there you go. Eric says, woohoo, Sean. And then earlier someone said Sean is a what did they said? Where is it? Hold on, they put a piano.
Wow.
Sean is a great musician.
That's well, I appreciate that. So I like to think that about myself. I've been at it long enough. I should be.
There you go.
But yeah, it's great to say hi to all you guys and to be connecting and talking about the return of Superpower Beatdown. We're super excited. We're free with our time now to move on to a new project. If Aaron told you.
Yes. Yeah. We've been working on White Dragon for 5 years, forever.
Yeah, the White Dragon. Yes, it's done and it looks amazing. It's awesome. It's out of our hands. It's in the distributor's hands. And we hope that it will have a release date and a date very soon here, right after the new year. So it's a lot of things pending, but we are free now. And so we want to get back to Beatdown. We love doing Beatdown. We love talking about it.
Yeah.
And all the characters and all the different universes coming together. And the fans, you guys make it extra special because you have all kinds of ideas, and it's nice to kind of like share and bounce, creative ideas back and forth of who we can make these cool battles about.
Yes, we're
So,
very excited. We have 5 battles planned. They know some of them. I haven't confirmed all of them, but
have you been leaking them out of the bag?
yeah, they know about Batman Shredder. That one that one's been the most known about because we've invested the most into that one and been building the costumes, and I've been promoting that. I haven't confirmed. Mandalorian Predator is confirmed, and then of course the Wolverine Deadpool versus Scorpion and Sub-Zero is confirmed with a stretch goal on that to be X-Men versus Mortal Kombat to be bigger. That's like a really big one.
That's a big one, though. But we can we can do it because we've been doing this for a long time now. We have the know-how to finagle all these things together.
Yes, yeah, no, we it's a lot of work, but we do it. Someone I was reading, someone says this person's name is Darth Skywalker. Says your dad is amazing, just like his dad.
Oh well, thank you.
But I'll say a funny thing. I don't know if you guys know this or not. And I forget who we were talking to.
Thank you, Darth Skywalker.
I forget who we were talking to the other day, but I was telling them because a lot of people don't know this. That you were the first person to ever dress up as like a Star Wars character.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the fans know that, but if you don't know, you can go to StarWars.com or just type in my name and first cosplayer ever. Because when Star Wars came out in '77, I saw it in the theaters, and within a month after its release, I already had made me my first Darth Vader, fully the helmet, the cape, all the the buttons and things. It was homemade. I made it from things in the garage. I was only 17 then, but there's a picture of it. It's all online. There's a whole story about it.
There is, and we'll get to the super chat from David Coxwell in just a second. David, hold on one second. But yeah, the story. Yeah, so basically, you showed me an image. You dressed up as Darth Vader.
The old Polaroids that you have to like blow on them. That's way back in the days, way before most people. But Aaron, I showed Aaron the old photograph when I was 17, and I said, here's me as Darth Vader back in 1977. And he goes, wow. And so he put it online, and then StarWars.com.
Yeah, Lucasfilm reached out, and they were like, what is this?
They go, what is this? Who is this guy? And so Aaron explained that I was cosplaying Darth Vader.
Because you can see in the background all the pictures of Wings, Paul McCartney, and George Harrison. So the picture is very much dated in its sort of time frame. And basically Lucasfilm, they said we think this is the first on record, the first person to ever cosplay Darth Vader and possibly Star Wars. So they're like, can we do a whole article on this?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh,
and,
yeah.
I do have actually another picture where it was in a publication with an actual date stamped on it, 1977.
Yeah.
So I do have some actual proof of the date.
Yeah.
So I guess I am. Unless someone can come up with something and find one before me. But I guess I go on record as the first person to ever cosplay a Star Wars character.
I know, which is wild because that's such a big thing now. It's such like a big, and at the time, the term cosplay didn't exist. That wasn't the thing.
It wasn't.
You're just dressing up as a cool character, and now it's like this thing. So I've seen that go viral, and many times. Every time I post it, people get really excited. Let me answer David's question. David said, "At Pat and the Sun, this is the last post. Can you use David Yost? That was Billy the Blue Ranger.
Oh yeah.
And his role as Billy the Blue Ranger versus doing Blue Beetle. So you have the blue versus blue.
Yeah.
Kind of like we want to do the other one, which I haven't fully confirmed yet. But people know that Walter Jones is coming back to be the Black Ranger, which is pretty exciting. So you kind of the same thing there.
So you leaked that info.
A little bit. They know. They kind of know. But they don't know. But they know. But they don't know. And you got to keep that mystery going.
Yeah, so what do you think about Blue Beetle and Blue Ranger?
Gosh, I think it's a good one.
We know Billy, but
Yeah. He's really nice. Yeah. No, David's really nice. I think he's a Patriots fan because every time I post Patriots stuff, he always comments on it. He's very nice. But David would be cool to have on there, and I don't know who would win between the Blue Ranger and the Blue Beetle because Blue Beetle is really powerful, but so is the Blue Ranger. Just like if you were to have the Black Ranger versus like Black Panther. So that would be a good one. Anyways,
are you spilling information there?
I am spilling no information. But let's see real quick. We got another. Let's see real quick here. Where is that? Okay, Ghostface came with a $10 super chat. He says Snake Plissken, who is Plissken. Sorry, Snake Plissken. That's Kurt Russell's character in Escape from New York.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
versus the Predator. That would be an interesting one. Basically, you take someone said earlier Rambo versus the Predator, and you're taking all the '80s action stars versus the Predator. Which I would love to say the Predator beats all them, but as you know, the Predator beats no one. He loses to everyone. He's just at this point we need to go back to the beginning. We need to put him in first grade, and he needs to fight Kevin McAllister from Home Alone. If he can beat him,
refresh me about Snake Plissken. Like what?
you know the eye patch for Kurt Russell.
Oh yeah, yeah, right.
Yeah.
And so what powers? What makes him a formidable?
No, he's just a badass human being, like Rambo, like John McClane. He's all part of that '80s, testosterone badass bunch.
Maybe Snake should fight Rambo.
That one I think is actually a better one. I think that one's a better one. Really, I think Predator should be able to take both of them, but Predator loses all the time. He just can't win. He can never win. He literally can't win. He's never won. He's been in 9 movies and he never wins. He is 0-9. If they make 7 more movies of him, he's going to be the 1976
what about the new
Buccaneers.
Predator?
I don't know. I hope he wins that. Well, that movie. Okay, so that movie is told from the Predator's perspective, so he should win because he's the hero.
The trailer looks pretty good.
I want to see it. We're all going to go see it. All right. This fight would take place in LA since the second Snake Plissken takes place in LA and Predator 2 takes place in LA. That would be a good battle. I want to say Predator, but I think Snake would win. Because Predator never wins. Like I said, if they make 7 more movies of the Predator and he keeps losing the way he is, he's going to be the 1976 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's going to be 0-16. Was it 76? What year was that?
I think it was maybe 77.
77.
76 or 77.
You were too busy cosplaying Darth Vader then.
Yeah. He's making an old football reference there.
Old football reference.
Yeah.
So let's hear. All right, guys. So no need to argue. No need to argue. If you guys want to ask us questions, ask us questions. You guys are all fighting for our attention. Ghostface says, I agree with you on this, Aaron. Thank you. Dylan says, good night, guys. Good night. Let's see real quick here. Someone says Deathstroke versus Wolverine. I think Wolverine would win. I think it's Wolverine. He's so hard. If you take his adamantium away and he's Bone Claws Wolverine, it's a very different story. We need to make Bone Claws Wolverine more relevant. I thought about making the Wolverine in the beatdown we want to do Bone Claws. What do you guys think? Do you think when we do Wolverine and Deadpool versus Scorpion and Sub-Zero that it should be Bone Claws Wolverine or Adamantium Wolverine? It makes the fight more interesting. Adamantium Wolverine is just so damn durable.
Is that adamantium does it magnetize?
So here's the thing: it's actually pretty. It's kind of like anti-magnetizable, if that's a word, which it's not. But Magneto's so strong that he was still able to manipulate it.
Yeah.
So
and Magneto pulled all the adamantium out of his body.
Yes. But who added it back in? Do you know that?
Oh, that's a good question.
I don't know. I'd be kind of surprised if you know this, actually. It's not that common, actually.
I don't know.
But I think they're going to do an X-Men 97 because at the end of X-Men 97 season 1, he lost his adamantium. Apocalypse puts it back in him. Because, Apocalypse takes Angel and makes him his herald and turns him into Archangel. Apocalypse did that to Wolverine and put his adamantium back in because he wanted Wolverine to be the most formidable version of himself.
So he's the evil version of himself.
Yeah, but eventually he breaks that spell. And
he must have a different name then.
That's a good question. He might have because Angel went to Archangel. Guys, do you know what Wolverine's name became when he was a horseman of Apocalypse? That's a great question. So Recon says Bone Claws. Someone says adamantium, and then Koval says goodnight. He ripped it out. Wait, Pattinson. He ripped it out. Apocalypse did it. So yeah, they're trying to figure it out. Some people say adamantium. Bone Claws Wolverine would be basically unbeatable. His healing factor would be super OP. That's a good point. Yeah, so when he doesn't have his adamantium, his healing factor is actually stronger. Which is crazy because Wolverine's healing factors are already too strong.
So the adamantium actually makes him less weak.
Yeah, because it's.
he's stronger but weaker.
It's actually because adamantium. So, as the story's been fleshed out over the years, the only reason, like, there's only one character that's ever had adamantium bone or claws or bones, and that's because it's Wolverine. Because his healing factor can handle it. Because essentially, the adamantium is actually poisoning him. all
Oh,
the time.
that's right. I remember. That's right.
Yeah.
It's like a toxic poison to
Yeah,
him, but
only-
he can keep healing him.
Yeah, because when they put adamantium,
But that's why he's weaker, though.
Yeah. Which is why I always thought it was weird that Sabretooth, who has the same healing factor, should have got adamantium. I thought that Sabretooth should have also had the same sort of adamantium that Wolverine does. I don't know why they never did that. But yes, so he's actually, his healing factor is greater. His bone, yeah, he does. Let me see here, Grim. You are getting a little too aggressive, and you're being a little too negative here. So we will have to boot you if you don't stop. Wolverine has one of the greatest healing factors in all of Marvel. Yeah, I think it's too great. I think it makes it. I like Wolverine in the X-Men animation, where it was like a little more like reasonable. Like whenever it's like he can heal from a drop of blood, I'm like, it just becomes like silly. Like it's like he's like every character is too OP. I think it's bad writing, to be quite honest.
Well, I mean, Deadpool's like that.
He is like that, and I think what happens is when you have all these characters that, like Batman, who he outthinks everyone. Like every character's unbeatable. It becomes kind of silly. Like you gotta have your characters be like have like a limit to them. Ghostface comes in with another super chat. Thank you. There are 2 beatdowns I hope you'll do in the future: Batman vs. Freddy Krueger and
Freddy Krueger.
Blade vs. Selene. Well, Batman vs. Freddy is an idea that I just wrote a Batman vs. Freddy idea. So we'll see. Well, if we hit the top goal on the top beatdown goal is basically you guys get to choose. So I'll put a list of like 5 beatdowns, and then you guys vote, and whatever one you vote on, we're going to do that one. But I like the twisted idea of Batman vs. Freddy. Reeves really likes Freddy Krueger. Did you ever watch any Freddy Krueger movies back in the 80s?
Some, yeah.
That was like 80s. That was of your
That
time.
was definitely my time. Yeah, I mean, all my friends were like big Freddy Krueger fans.
All this stuff. Yeah. And then
that stuff lives on, man.
definitely. Well,
And then what about this?
Blade versus Selene.
Yeah.
So Blade, obviously Blade, and Selene is from Underworld. That's Kate Beckinsale from Underworld.
Yeah.
I think that she's actually a better match almost than Buffy is, in a way. I think that's a good one. I just like Blade. But Blade's so hard to do. We've tried to do Blade on Beatdown forever, and it's so hard to find someone to match Wesley's energy, his attitude. It's like, we should make another Ace Ventura movie. I'm like, well, without Jim Carrey, it's not the same. Wesley just crushed it. Mushy's so good. It was so cool that we got to meet him at the Stan Lee Memorial.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we were just looking at a picture of us with him the other day.
Yeah, I was surprised. He's so good in the movie. I was surprised actually how short he was. Because when you watch the movie, his presence is so big, and then when I met him,
Well, that's because he was so jacked.
he was jacked, but he's like 5'9" now, and I was like, whoa! I thought he'd be like 6'1" or 6. Like I'd be looking up to him because I'm 6 foot.
Probably a lot of the superheroes don't always have to be 6 feet and
No,
up.
he doesn't have to. But I'm just saying that his presence, his energy was so like powerful that like I was like, whoa! I was like, you just.
And he was super nice though.
He's really nice.
He was really, really
Talked
nice.
with him, asked for a photo.
Yeah.
He was like really cool about it. He was really cool. He was great. So, and he's as they say, is Marvel Jesus. Because if that movie went under or didn't do well, then the whole Marvel universe would have fallen apart.
Yeah.
Like Blade saved the whole Marvel universe.
You didn't know that then at the time.
You didn't, because they kind of kept it secret, and you didn't see how much the Marvel universe would blow up. But like Wesley,
Kind of saved the whole Marvel
he's
universe
Mhm.
indirectly. I don't even know if he even knew it at the time.
He probably didn't.
But
Um,
it's one of our favorite movies.
Oh my God.
That first Blade movie.
so good. It's like one of the best super movies of all time. Love it. That's like such a big inspiration on how we do fight scenes and everything. Nothing but great things to say about Blade. Jaquan Black says, any updates on Spider-Man Darth Maul behind the scenes footage you said you got to look for? Yes. So, okay. I don't have any updates on that because we just moved and all my hard drives are like all sequestered somewhere. But there is a ton of behind the scenes of that. We shoot a ton of stuff. Like, so it exists. Here's my question for you though, because you really want to see the behind the scenes. What I would love to know is, why do you want to see the behind the scenes? What are you looking to see? What about that episode makes you want to see behind the scenes of that episode? But I can tell you some really crazy behind the scenes, because there's almost some crazy stories on that beatdown that we never had on any other beatdowns. So I'll tell you this, even though we haven't found the footage, and you can talk about this too. So
Well, we have it though.
we do have it. I have to find it. We don't have what I'm about to say on video though.
Okay.
So a few things. The biggest thing that happened on that was we shot in kind of a really like not a great area in downtown LA. A lot of locations in LA are not in the best areas.
I mean, they look great for
They
like
look-
superhero
they
because
look great.
you're in warehouses and a lot of them are run down, but it looks cool.
Yeah.
A lot of brick concrete, you know, watery spills and everything. Or so you get that texture that you need for filming.
But they're not in the best area. So anyway, so we were shooting and we were shooting at night. That was like those were long days because the Spider-Man episodes were tough. Like just because we didn't really use very many shots of a CGI Spider, and that was mainly Yoshi Sudarso in the suit, who we could not have done that beatdown without him. He was phenomenal. I was in the suit for a lot of it. I always say I was in the suit whenever Spider-Man's not doing something amazing. That was me in the suit.
Yoshi's was one of the Rangers.
Yeah, he was the Blue Ranger. He was Code, I think. But Yoshi's fantastic. That whole episode we could not have done without Yoshi. Yoshi's incredible.
Yeah, props to Yoshi. He was
Yeah.
also a super easy guy to work with, super
Yeah.
talented.
Super great. Like amazing.
He's doing a lot of modeling work now.
Yeah, he's like big time. He's like doing awesome stuff. But anyway, so we would shoot. There were 14-hour days, and that's also to show how amazing Yoshi is because the physicality of having to jump and do flips like that, just hours on end, is so exhausting. So, anyways, we shoot 14 hours, and one of the nights, I don't know, like second or third night, someone opens the door to the location, and it's like a SWAT guy. And they like ask us like a question, and we're like, "Whoa! Why is SWAT coming into our location? It's weird." And they kind of explain the situation, and they're like, "Hey, there was someone murdered like right outside of this location." We were like, "Whoa!" They're like, "Well, we haven't been able to find him. You know, he like stabbed a guy or whatever." So we're like, "Huh." So they're like, "Keep the doors locked, and you're also not allowed to leave this location because." And so we were like, "That's
Yeah, they blocked off that area, so we were like sequestered
Yeah.
into like a 1 block zone, and nobody could come in or go out.
no." We were stuck in this location. So basically, we had wrapped filming, and this is like 2 a.m. It's like so late in the morning. And then
We
like,
were just getting ready to leave,
yeah.
and suddenly we can't leave.
And I like because we're sitting there and you just sit. So I was like, after like an hour, I was like, I'm gonna peek my head outside. Even though the cop was like, don't do that because there's a murderer out here stabbing people. But I peek out, and it's crazy because I kid you not, I'm out there. The giant spotlight from the helicopter just like, whoosh, passes over, and there's like a SEAL team of like 7 people with like automatics just like walking down the street, and I'm just like, okay. I just shut the door and just locked that, and I was like, well, we're gonna be here for a while. Luckily, we had our stunt pads, so we all just ended up laying down and kind of falling asleep on the stunt pads, and just like waited for that kind of all to blow over, and
then at about I think 6:30 or 7 in the morning.
just before the sun came up,
Yeah.
I went outside, and the cop was right there, and I opened the door, and I was like, officer, and I think he had his gun drawn, or he was like ready because it was like a little intense because I came out like this, very like, hey, I'm a person that is just trying to obey the law, and I walked up, and he was like, turn around, like hands in the air, approach me slowly, and I was like, all right, like totally fine. And I eventually got up to him, and he's like, they frisk you, and I was like, there's like,
And the strange thing is that we have a lot of weapon props,
yeah,
not real guns, but just for film shooting. And so we were thinking like, whoa. And we had some fake guns in our car, and you need permits to shoot with those. And we're thinking like, oh my gosh, we hope they don't see them here because we
it
have
just caused problems.
it could get out of hand. But luckily everything went cool.
It worked out. Yeah, I explained to them. I was like, "We're just all in there. Can we leave?" And then eventually they're like, "All right, yeah, we've detained or surveyed the area enough." And then we all left. But God, talk about behind the scenes. That's one of the craziest behind the scenes stories of all beatdowns, I think.
But some other great story about that behind the scenes for that Spider-Man Darth Maul is that we filmed with Stan Lee.
That's like an apology. And we have all the behind the scenes footage that I have, and that we want to put online. Let me see. Did you answer that? I asked you that question. Sorry, I was busy telling that story. So, Argon Black, where did you answer my question, Black? Because I asked you why you want that footage, and I'm just curious. You didn't answer. Well, I can't. I asked you a question because I want to know if I wanted to get you the stuff. Anyways, Darth Skywalker says, "What is your favorite Star Wars movie?" Well, I know the answer to that one.
Well, the original first three movies are my favorites. Episode 4, 5, and 6, and then it would have to be the very first one, which was originally called just Star Wars. And then later on, when the second film came out, Episode 5, they had to retitle the first new movie to New Hope.
Yeah.
But I like the first one because it's the introduction of everyone, and the film kind of wraps up because you see them all get their medals at the end, and it could just stand alone as just one movie,
Yeah.
but they're all good. You know, that the first three movies, Episode 4, 5, and 6, are my favorites.
Those are the best.
But I've enjoyed all of them just because it's the Star Wars franchise, and
There are fun moments from all of them. I know we were not a big fan of the most recent ones, like collectively as a trilogy. They were kind of all over the place. There were cool moments, but
yeah.
there were parts that were
Well, I was disappointed that there wasn't a scene with Luke and
Han and Leia. Yeah, like that was a catastrophic mistake. Like what happened?
yeah, Han and Leia had a scene together.
Yeah, but no Luke though.
Yeah, but Luke and Han, they were like buddies, you know. They in the first ones, you know. Well, they became buddies at the end. So
I know. All right, here we go. Ghostface says, "What are the pros and cons of doing Beatdown?" Oh God, that's such a broad question. Well, the pros is we get to make awesome content. The cons is it's so much work.
it is. It's exhausting, and and you're always trying to make the content as best as possible. So you're always pushing yourself, and sometimes you have to go back and redo something. Something that didn't come out exactly as planned. So you just keep pushing yourself, and you're working long hours, hard hours. Probably the hardest part is filming. At the end of the day, you're so exhausted, you're physically tired, and you have to like either tear things down, like your equipment, and pack it up. And depending on everyone's schedule, sometimes you got to come back the very next morning and start over again because everybody's schedule is different. So you just got to pick those days when you can, and you can't be too choosy about it. If the actors are ready to go that next morning, you just go.
Just going. It's rough. It's rough. Someone says, "Would you ever?" Prince Leo says, "Would you ever consider Lion-O from Thundercats on a Beatdown?" That'd be fun. I think John Morrison would be a good Lion-O.
Yeah.
Put the whole makeup on him, like a big makeup application.
Yeah.
Versus He-Man.
Oh,
big
that's
80s battle.
classic.
It's a classic 80s battle. That'd be kind of fun to do, actually. Lion-O versus He-Man. I have to do that one. Who would we cast as He-Man? Who would be like a good He-Man? I have to think about that.
Maybe Derek Theler.
He would be good. Derek
Theler was in the TV show Baby Daddy.
Yeah, and he was EXO for us as well. I don't know if Derek have to really get in phenomenal shape. It's like asking like because He-Man was just so like Arnold Schwarzenegger, like he was just so crazy jacked. But he's got the face for it for sure, and he's a big dude.
What about that wrestler that we met? We got his number.
The guy that he would be good. The one that we said we wanted to have play Sabretooth.
Yeah.
God, what was his name? It's like Big Bill or something like that. He was awesome. He looked Thor and Sabretooth.
Yeah.
He would be good. That one would be kind of fun. Someone says they said they love Star Wars: Revenge of the Sith. That was the third one of the trilogy of the prequels.
Yeah.
The one where Anakin becomes Darth Vader. So that one was that one. Let me see real quick here. In the future animated Beatdown, who would win? White Ranger versus White Dragon. Oh, White Dragon would win. Jason said that. Jason said that his most powerful character he ever played was White Dragon. So I defer to Jason on that.
White Dragon versus who?
White Ranger.
Oh, the White Ranger.
Basically, other Jason forms. The Green Ranger and the White Ranger. But he said the White Dragon was his most powerful.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. But the fans are waiting to see that film.
I know.
When you see it, you'll see how powerful he is. He's
pretty powerful.
He's pretty powerful.
Juan Black is asking or responding to what I said. He said it was magic. I want to see how you make the magic. Oh, well, that's very nice. It was probably one of our toughest episodes to make, Spider-Man versus Darth Maul. And so much of it relied a lot on Yoshi.
Yeah.
Like that was definitely like Yoshi is a big part of why that episode's great. Like I always give Yoshi all the accolades. I always say because I was Spider-Man partly in that episode too. Like I said, whenever you see Spider-Man doing something amazing, that's Yoshi. Whenever Spider-Man's just standing around, just kind of moving around, that's me.
That's it.
That's me. It's my voice, and I'm there. But Yoshi was he did all the cool stuff. So James Bond versus John Wick. Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I don't know who would win that one.
Yeah, I almost want to thank John Wick because I've seen, compared the two movies, John Wick is a lot more formidable with his weapons.
He is. He's also like more unkillable. Like in the most, like in the fourth one and the third one, he did like things where he had powers, which Bond has never done that. So I think if you take John Wick 1 versus Casino Royale Bond, I think that's a good fight. I think as you progress John Wick through the movies, they give John Wick powers where you're like, now he has powers.
How about John Wick versus the Punisher?
So that's the one everyone wants, that one. People love that fight. The reason that fight's hard to do is for two reasons. One, Keanu Reeves is John Wick. Like it's like trying to find Wesley Snipes' Blade type. It's hard. Like if you cast like The Mandalorian or Batman, they wear masks. And we've had a lot of different Batmans. There's only been one Blade, there's only been one John Wick. And I don't think you can accept anyone else's face as not as a character. Also, that episode would be so bloody that that YouTube wouldn't even allow it on there. It would be so bloody. It'd have to be.
Yeah. You would want to see that.
I know.
But you could make like a PG version where there's just a lot of fighting but no blood.
No. No.
No. You want to see it. You want to see all the blood.
Yeah, that's gonna be cool. All right, Ricky came in with a super chat and he says, "Don't know if already answered, but do you plan on doing live action beatdowns based on Japanese IPs like anime and manga?" So characters. I hate to say, I'm not like super up on my anime as I should be. I know like the really basic kinds. I enjoyed Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball Z, Pokemon, Digimon. I don't get too deep, having seen Ghost in the Shell, but I'm really not up on a lot of this much as I should be. I'd love to do Sailor Moon. I like Tuxedo Mask. Definitely want to do Goku versus Superman. That's a huge budget. And we were talking about doing some fun like Pokemon stuff, but not really though. I'm bad on that.
We get asked that though.
We do. We asked it actually quite a bit to where we should do it.
Yeah, God, I'm trying to think. Who would you like to see? Maybe let us know.
What's the most popular anime character you'd want to see? Ghostface came back in and says, "Which characters do you and your dad want to see fight Freddy Krueger in a future beatdown?" Oh, I want to see him fight Batman. I've already written the story. I think because Freddy, attacks you in your dreams, and I think living in Batman's dreams, living in Batman's brain is just cool. And I wrote a pretty cool story. We're actually having an actor come over in 2 weeks to do a fitting for a Batman suit where we could possibly do that story.
Yeah.
So I think Batman. I think Batman's brain is the coolest brain to get locked into.
Yeah.
Also, because Freddy's whole thing relies on you being afraid of him, and Batman's like the master of fear. People fear Batman, so it's like, but Batman has
How about Scarecrow and Freddy Krueger?
So that one's also inherently very interesting because they're both masters of fear. But Batman has a lot of fear, like the fear of losing his parents. I think Freddy vs. Batman is a really, really cool one. I think there's a lot to play with there. What is your response on that?
I'm trying to think of maybe Freddy Krueger could fight like Dracula.
Ooh, other horror movie monsters. God, living in Dracula's brain. How would that work? Yeah. I think that'd be bad for Freddy. I don't know. Dracula's really powerful because he has like so many unlimited powers. I don't know. That's an interesting one. Dracula versus Freddy. That's a good one. I don't know who that one. Who would win, Dracula or Freddy? You guys think? So let's see real quicker. Let me see real quicker. Do you have a limit about which characters you could do a beatdown? Like what characters would be off limits? Just ones that are really powerful, or like fully CGI characters. Like a character that'd be really hard to do with Venom, because he's constantly moving. Like he's just a really,
and someone like Hulk.
Hulk's hard. Silver
Hulk will be
Surfer's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are all really hard characters. Like we really, really want to do Spawn, but Spawn's tough.
Yeah.
Spawn's tough. Green Lantern's tough. Green Lantern's easier, but he's tough. We want to do Green Lantern versus Spawn. That's what we want to do. Do John Stewart Green Lantern versus Al Simmons Spawn. That's a beatdown we want to do, but it's so hard. It's so hard. Someone says Freddy would definitely get Dracula.
Yeah.
I guess they'd beat him. A Batman horror video versus Freddy, which could be cool. That could be fun. Freddy feeds off fear, but Batman doesn't fear anything. Yeah, it'd be a hard thing to do. Someone says, "Are you still planning on doing Dracula versus King Arthur?" Yeah, we want to do that after we get through this Kickstarter. We want to do a Kickstarter for Dracula versus King Arthur.
Yeah, we could pivot into that.
Yes. And I would be Dracula, and John Morrison would be King Arthur. Which John would be a great King Arthur. He's got the look and stuff. Also, I think we went a little 15 minutes over. We usually do this for an hour, so we'll probably
Batman versus Moon Knight.
Moon Knight versus Freddy actually would be good because Moon Knight lives a lot in his brain. That actually would be kind of a more interesting one, I think. We got like just a few minutes here, guys, and we got to go. I just realized we've already been on live for an hour and 15 minutes.
Oh, there's so many good battles on here.
Darth Skywalker asks you again, what is your favorite Star Wars quote? What's your favorite line from Star Wars? We'll end on this. This is a good question. What is your favorite line from all the Star Wars?
Probably
I know the one you like.
Probably when Han says, "Luke, we're going to have company."
That's a good one.
Yeah, when somebody shoots that intercom,
Yeah.
you know, and goes, he goes, "Luke, we're going to have company."
But okay, so but we'll go down the list here. But you also like it says like who's scruffy looking? You could use a good kiss when they're arguing in Hoth.
Yeah, no, he says, you don't have enough scoundrels in your life.
That's what the line is. Yeah, that's a good line. I like that line.
Yeah, that's when they're kind of flirting. You know, Han and Leia, they get that little moment alone around the corner, and
they're walking through the
and she's trying to push him away, and he's being a little forward, and she calls him a scoundrel.
Yeah,
and he just kind of real confidently says to her, "You don't have enough scoundrels in your life."
That's a good line. That is a good line.
That's a great line.
That's a good line. That might actually that's a good line. Well, that's like they always said that that's very Clark Gable. Clark Gable's name in Gone with the Wind.
Rhett Butler.
It's very Rhett Butler and Scarlet. And they I've heard someone say, and I agree. They said that basically Star Wars is Gone with the Wind in space, and it's that sort of that's sort of energy which I like. But you also like Jabba wa Nichiko tu paso.
So yeah, when Jabba the Hutt has his moments.
Yeah. With
Jabba wa Nichiko.
With Greedo.
Yeah.
Told that to Alvin. Alvin ran around laughing.
There's so many great quotes in that movie, though.
And you have all of Yoda's lines and stuff like that.
Yeah, you do a good Yoda.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But those are all the classic ones. But I think a Han line is the best one.
That's a good question.
Although if Shad was here, he'd say Luke.
Shad is my brother.
Luke.
Which
is what Aunt Beru.
Aunt Beru. That's his real blood aunt.
Yes, in the thing. So, anyways, I think that's a good question. And there's one more super chat. Let me grab this one super chat, and then
one person said, "I loved it when Leia says I love you," and Han says, "I know."
I know. But then later they flip it. All right, here we go. So Ricky comes in. Don't lose that number. He says, "Can you do Blade versus Dante?" Dante's from Capcom, from Devil May Cry, video game in the future. Classic Dante, not 2013. Half vampire, half demon. See, that one makes more sense too, like Dante versus Blade. But once again, Blade's so hard to do. I think we could do Dante. Dante's more doable. He's very powerful though. But Blade's tough. We would love to do Blade. I can't tell you how many times we talk about how great Blade is. He's hard to do.
Yeah, we'll get around to doing him though.
I would like to do Blade. I love that movie. So, anyways, guys, appreciate your time. We have the Beatdown Kickstarter launches a week from today, and of course,
yeah, I miss talking with the fans.
We're gonna do it from our new podcast room.
Yes, we got a new podcast room that
we're
we
building.
are finishing up on right now.
Which looks great. So we'll do that more from there, and we'll do actually more actual podcasts.
Yeah, we're gonna be doing a lot more of that coming up here.
Yeah, but that'll be fun. And then the Kickstarter launches in a week, and White Dragon is done. And you, what are your thoughts on it?
On what, the White Dragon?
Yeah.
Well, there were so many challenges. It's like a 5-year project, and it was just we just had to endure and just overcoming and persevering, and we did. It had a lot of setbacks. Unfortunately, the worst one was Jason passing. But it was through COVID, and then there was just a lot of. And then Chris came in, who put in a bigger budget, so the scope got bigger than what we could keep up with. So we're trying to handle bigger ideas, bigger things, and it was just And then with the finishing with and getting the distributors all in there, it really was. But as I've told Aaron, with everything we've done, I said you just gotta hang at it. You gotta finish it. That's the most important thing, because you just can't leave a project. Even if we funded it entirely ourselves, you gotta finish it. But here, the fans put in their support through the Kickstarter. Chris put in a huge chunk, and but we finished it, and it was a little. It was a little scary, to be honest. A little scary at first, because we thought, like, oh my gosh, how are we going to finish this? Jason's not here. Is it good enough? We're getting the first assemblies as we were editing it, and you're seeing the pieces come together. You're seeing what's working and what's not working. And we had a lot of things that were not working, and we're going like, oh my gosh, we have to.
Well, because you have to, like, people don't know when you do an assembly cut, but like that's like basically in all movies. You shoot and you think, well, this is going to work, and then you have some movies where they have great scripts and they do the assembly cut, and you're like, oh, it's not working. Maybe the actors' chemistry isn't there, or just certain things just don't work. And when we did our assembly cut for the film, our first assembly cut, Jason already passed. So normally, like when the most recent Captain America movie came out, like when they did the assembly cut, they're like, oh my God, so much of this doesn't work. So they had to go back and spend like $60 million to make it work. Also,
Yeah, but reshooting is just a normal part of it.
It is. It's totally normal. But generally, you have your lead actor to have that access. And like, we don't have that, and now we don't want to cut anything with Jason. We're going to cut as very little as possible. And then shooting through COVID was really rough because, one, I don't know if a lot of people know this, like COVID. So the movie's SAG, the movie's union, so there's a lot of you have to follow all the union protocol, which is good. You like that. It's the lookout for everyone. But because the unknown fear of COVID at the time, there wasn't a lot of things known about it. Is that there were so many expenses that SAG required. Basically, SAG said you have to do all these extra things in order to shoot, otherwise you can't shoot.
SAG is the Screen Actors Guild, SAG.
And that was 10% of the budget. So it had to go to that, which was terrible. I mean, it's great because we want to keep everyone safe. But it's terrible for the film because basically that was like 3 or 4 extra shooting days that we had to take away.
Yeah.
So then shooting became crazier. And also because of that, there was like a window because there were so many things, because eventually everything actually, like things shut down, then they opened up and they shut down. And shooting was really condensed. Like I remember at one point we shot I think 21 days within like 23 days. And you and me are a workhorse, and we will work and like not eat. And I know generally when we start production and when we end, I'm like 15 pounds lighter because we just have to work and go. And I remember like on day like 18 or 19, I'm sitting there like out of my mind, like it was I was exhausted and tired, hungry, and you're like, what are we shooting today? And I was like, I don't know. Like I was kind of like in this moment, I was like, I just need a moment to like recalibrate and figure this out. It was so I can't, like as my dad was saying, I can't tell you how stressful it was to shoot during that time. And then so when we got to the assembly cut time, we had a lot of amazing stuff, because sometimes like when there's a lot of applied pressure, you end up coming away with great art. It's like so good because you're like, there's so many outside elements that affect your creation that it's great. But then there's some things where you're like, oh man, like this didn't work, or this actor's performance that we cast just doesn't work in the movie. Are we gonna have to like recast this person? Or can we recast this person? So there's a lot of things when the assembly cut came together. We were like, okay, so we see all the work that needs to be done. Luckily, Chris was there and put in so much more money, but then that was almost like a weird anomaly too, because then we could do so many more things that we originally wanted to do when Jason was here that he wanted to do. And I was like, okay, well now we can level up, but then it's like you're taking on like a lot more work, and we ended up shooting like the whole movie, like
The project was constantly morphing,
yeah,
changing, and we fortunately we had filmed a lot of great scenes with Jason.
yeah,
When we assembled them all together, a lot of it didn't make sense. So in the reshoots, we were rewriting stuff to make all the scenes with Jason make sense because we had to keep everything of him in the film.
And he was great. So there was like he the problems that were in the movie were not his acting performance. It was just sometimes like you're rushing scenes. You're like, God, we didn't get all the coverage we needed, or all these fight scenes were rushed because we had so many limited
Some of
days.
it was just story points.
So,
like certain things weren't linking up with story wise.
Well, because there's a wonderful kind of spontaneity when you work with Jason, that he would I want this, I want to do this. And you'd be like, okay, well, the story doesn't really call for that, but that is a cool idea. But we already shot scenes that don't really like make that work. So we're like, well, let's do that because that's a great idea, Jason. But we'll go back and we'll kind of, with you, Jason, we'll retweak this so that works. And then he passed, and we weren't able to do that. So there's a real organicness that that I love, and I watched Steven Spielberg talk about this. There's an organicness that you kind of just let the scenes develop and become what they become. The problem is that you have to make sure that you have all your talent through that journey, because if you're constantly changing and evolving, and then your lead actor is no longer available, you're like, uh-oh, this type of creative process has become problematic because we don't have Jason.
Yeah.
But then later you have the like writer's strike, which we had to get a bunch of things taken care of so we could shoot that, and that made shooting very tricky. The whole thing's been very, very tumultuous. Having said all that, the movie looks fantastic. Like, we were able to persevere, and it's so good, and we're so happy about it. And like, I love it. I love it.
If it was like a game, like a football game, we were way behind, but we caught up and we pulled it out and we won in the end.
And that's right. And we can't wait for you guys to see it. I can't wait. I want to do watch parties or watch along parties.
We're really excited about all of you seeing it because we want to hear your reactions, and we just want you to enjoy it and to enjoy Jason's last film.
Yeah, when Jenna and Tammy saw it, they loved it. They were brought to tears over it. They watched it by themselves, and then we watched it with them, and they of course were very excited and elated, and it was an emotional roller coaster for them. But they were saying this is everything, and Jason wanted and more, which was great to hear. And having worked so closely with Jason, we know like the movie is very much about Jason. The way that it was constructed, it's very much about his life. The two main characters are really symbolic of who Jason was kind of in real life and the demons he was battling. So I don't want to give away spoilers, but there's so much I want to talk with you guys about the movie, about that. You're going to love the movie. I'm very happy with it. Because after all this, like, the thing of it is, you work so hard on it, you put all this money into it, and you can't release garbage. And you can't release something that's like, I'm not going to work 4 years on a movie and just put out something I'm not happy with. I'm going to work 5 years on a movie and make sure we love it.
Yeah.
And
Chris, our producer, who put in the money, he's working with the distributors because they want to find the best outlet so Chris can recoup his money, and it'll be in the theaters.
Yeah.
And it'll have the option of expanding it, especially if it does well.
While still getting get the backers what they deserve and contributed towards.
Yeah, all the people who contributed on the Kickstarter. So there was a lot of things that had to get figured out in there, and that's what they're doing. Aaron and I, as far as putting the film together, we've done that, and the film is good.
Yeah.
We've got the complete film on his computer right here, so it is done, everybody. So you will be seeing it soon enough. So we just want to thank everybody for being patient.
Yeah.
And being on this journey with us. But we're glad that it's seeing the light of day very soon.
And it'll be worth the wait, I promise. And it's definitely coming out. If everyone's like, is there really a movie? I was like, there's thousands of photos online of the movie. It's all over the place. You talk to any one of the people in it, they're all very excited. They love it. So I can't wait for you guys to see it. I wish I could sneak you all the way into a movie theater, in LA, and have you sign all NDAs and watch it. I would love that. I want to watch it with every one of you. I want to watch it with all the people that are excited about the movie, and I want to watch it with all the haters and all the naysayers, because when they watch it, they'll be like, "Oh, well, this is great." And I go, "I know," but I understand their frustration because it's like it's taken forever, and there's been so many like.
I've equally been frustrated.
Right. Well, I tell them this. I go, no one is more frustrated with this movie than me and my dad. The process and the late nights of pulling our hair out and and Chris too, because he's put so much money into it, and to make it look, make it look good. But that's like we can't let the movie not be good, because it's the movie just as an artistic endeavor. It can't be not good. It has to be great. And also, it's Jason's last movie, and the movie's so much about Jason. So I can't wait to watch it with everyone and be like, I'm just so proud of the movie. I wish it was out now like you guys, but there are certain protocols, and when you're dealing with millions of dollars, and it's it's $1 million movie, so it just goes through different protocols.
Yeah, it turned into a much bigger budget than we do a Superpower Beatdown.
Yes, it's a much bigger thing, and there's more stakes involved. So it is what it is. But we are in constant contact with everyone involved to be like, how's it going? How's it going? The fans want it. We want it. And Chris and our distributor, our distribution agent, they know that too. It's just the industry is constantly changing. It changes from week to week in terms of what they want, what's not available, this, because I can't tell you the crazy hurricane that is the film industry. But I promise you it'll come out. I promise you it's good. And I can't wait to hear each one of your guys' reviews. There you go.
There you go. That's where we're at. That's the status of that.
So, anyways.
Any more beatdowns to talk about?
No, I gotta get some to eat. I'm starving. I've been on here for an hour and a half. But I will. I'm so hungry. That's what I'm doing.
Well, it's great to talk with all of the fans here. I miss it. We used to do this more last year.
Yes.
And yeah, it's great because since we're getting back into Beatdown, we're going to be coming back online and doing live streaming and podcast and
do all that sort of stuff.
Behind the scenes stuff. We're going to be connecting with all you guys more.
Yes. Oh, Red Buick, Gray LeSabre, came in here and he says, with a super chat. Thank you. And we'll end with this one. He says, people have to realize Disney and Warner Brothers have put out $200 million rush flops. It's best to be worth the wait. Goodness is worth the wait. So that's what we're doing. I appreciate your understanding and sympathy. It's coming out. It's coming out, guys. Oh my goodness. I got a text from Alex. I have to call Alex. Anyways, I appreciate your guys' patience. One other person said something. He said, Aaron's like Tom Brady quarterbacking the White Dragon for the win. So we'll end on that. That's a great quote. I love that one. I'm going to screenshot it. And I appreciate you guys. And I'll be checking in with you guys as we lead up to the launch of the Kickstarter, which launches this November 11th.
Yeah.
So have a good one, guys. Appreciate you all. And we will
talk later
soon. Bye.